Hey everyone, Kelly Dean Allen here, self-professed Gary Moore fanatic, coming at you today with a tutorial on how to play the Irishman's 8-bar blues classic, Walking by Myself, from his 1990 album, Still Got the Blues. You can find my full cover of this one linked down below at the top of the description box if you'd like to check it out, or to simply use as a reference as you go along through this tutorial, yeah? Good then, let's close in here a little bit, learn how to play Walking by Myself by the great Gary Moore. Alright then, Walking by Myself, Gary Moore, from his 1990 album, Still Got the Blues. We are in standard tuning for this tutorial, and like I said, this is an 8-bar blues progression as opposed to the much more common 12-bar blues progression. And before we dig into that killer solo that this one has, we need to learn all the rhythm parts. And so the track starts like this. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. You know I love you. You know it's true. Give you all my love, babe. What more can I do? Right? That is the first verse. So we're starting with a slide into the 7th fret of the low E string, down to the 5 of the A, back to the 7, back to the 5. The first 2 times you play this riff, you're going to repeat it 5 times. After you do that 7 to 5, you're going to drop into an E power chord and slide out of it, but only the first 2 times. 1, 2, 3. Now the next 3 times, you're just going to drop into this E and choke it off. You know I love you. You know it's true. Give you all my lovin'. Now leading into the chorus, we're going to stop this progression here, that there, after we repeated it 5 times. We're going to drop off here to the 2nd fret of the A string, off to open A, grab the 3rd fret of the low E, and release that off to an E power chord. Right? And then we're going to jump up here just before the chorus starts, grab a little double stop on the G and the B string at the 12th fret, hit it twice, give it a little waggle, right? And leading just before the chorus starts, we're going to grab another little double stop here on the 14, 15 of the G and the B, hit it 3 times, and slide out of it. And then we drop into the chorus. So that is the opening. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And then we're into the chorus. Now the chorus, we're going to grab an E major chord here. We're just going to hold this E major chord. We're not really doing a blues progression here in E. You know, we're not really doing that. We're just going to hold this E major chord, bounce off the palm muted low E and the A string like twice. And then after every 2 count, you're going to catch the top 2 strings on the upstroke, right? And you repeat that for 3 bars. Right? And the 4th bar, we're going to ride up to A. And then drop into an A blues progression here for 1 bar. But leading into that, so we're going to go E, 2, 3, 4 chromatically, each time bouncing off the open E string. And then you drop into A for 1 bar, move it up to B for 1 bar. Same little blues progression, right? When you're in A, you're going to be bouncing off the 9 here of the A string. When you move it into B, you're going to be bouncing off the 11 of the A. And then off to E again. And that finishes the chorus. So we go off to E. And then this time you're going to go chromatically 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Each time bouncing off the open E. When you get to that 7, you're going to go down to the 5 of the A and then back to the 7. And then you're going to repeat the chorus again. And then off to E again. This time we're going to play a little lick. That little lick right there. So we're going to grab the E and then catch the high E string And then you're going to grab the 3rd fret of the high E, pull it off to open, and then catch the open B. 2nd fret of the G, quick little bend release off to open G. And then back onto that 2, pull it back off to open, grab the 2 of the D. Back to open G, back onto that 2. Roll it up to the 2 of the A with a double hit. Right, and that's that little fill lick there. Into the 2nd verse. Same as the 1st, right? Repeat that 3 times. 2, 3, 4. Back to this lick. Up to the double stop again. This time, we're not going to go up to the D. We're just going to hang in that little double stop there on the 12s, right? And then drop back into the 2nd chorus. Up to B, back off to E. Now at this point we're not going to go back into a 2nd half of the chorus, we're going to drop into the guitar solo. And the guitar solo in this one is very, very good blues playing. And I'm going to play through it first at a fairly relaxed pace, and then we'll dig into how to play it. Right, so that is the solo. So we're soloing in the key of E major using the E blues scale, starting here on the 10th fret of the B string with that little lick right there. So we're going to give that 10 of the B a full step bend, pick it 3 times, off to 8, back onto 10, grab the 9 of the G, back off to the 8 of the B, choke it off. Right, 2nd half of the lick. So we're going to grab that 10 again, give it another full step bend, pick it at the top, release it off to the major 3rd here on the 9th fret. Back onto the 10, off to the 8, finish on the 9 of the G. Right, with a double hit, I believe. And then we're into this little repeating lick. Right, so we're all palm muted, 7th fret of the G, chromatically 9, 8, 7 of the D. Right, repeat that 4 times. Right, and then we lead into this. So all on the A and the D string on the 5s and 7s. Kind of finishes on the 5 of the D with a lot of wide vibrato. Right? So up to that point. And then we're doing these quick little trills. Best to use your index to get the speed up on this. A 4th fret, moving it up to 5, moving it up to 7, trilling off the open B. You're going to do it 5 times here on the 4, 3 times here on the 5, and just once, I think, on the 7. And then slide out of it, right? And it's very quick. And then we're up here for a unison bend on the 12 of the high E and the 15 of the B. You're going to raise that once, and then just catch the single note there on the 12 of the high E. And then you're going to quickly grab the 15 of the G, pull it off to 14, pull it off to 12. Right? grab the 14 of the D, roll it down to the 14 of the G, down to the 12 of the G, grab the 14 of the D again, and roll it up to the 14 of the A for a double hit. Right, so that's that lick. So up to that point. And then we're into the second half of the solo. We're going to start it with that. Double stop bend here on the 14s of the G and the B. I don't know how many times you're picking that, maybe 10. And you're going to slowly release that bend off to a double stop on the 12, finish on the 14 of the D. And then you're going to repeat. But this time you're not going to go off to a double stop on the 12s. You're going to move up here and play that lick right there. 20th fret of the high E, full step bend. Release it off to 19. And you kind of repeat that twice, right? You bend, release, bend, release. And then you finish on a full step bend of that 20th fret. Into this very quick lick. So a little hammer-on release from 17 to 19 of the high E, up to 20 of the B, back to 17. Then you're going to pull off 20 off to 17 of the B, and then grab the 19 of the G. Hammer back on 17 back to 20, down to 17 of the high E. Right into a full step bend on the 20 of the B. Right, so that's that lick. And then another very quick lick. All right, this lick right here is very, very quick, and it goes something like this. Right? Great lick. So it's all going on here on the 14 of the G, 12, 14, 15 of the B, 12, 14, 15 of the high E. So it's got a bit of a Dorian flavor to it. So we're starting with a full step bend on the 15 of the high E. Then we're going to do a little trill between 12 and 15. Then you're going to do a double pull-off, or kind of a pull-off, hammer-on pull-off from 12 to 15 of the B. Kind of like that. And then the second time you do that pull-off, you're going to hammer on to 14, go down to 12 of the high E. And then you're going to hammer on, when you go down to that 12, hammer on to 14, back off to 12. Up to 15, back to 12. Then you're going to pull that 15 off to 12, grab the 14 of the G. 12 back onto 15, down to 12 of the high E. And then finish on the 15 of the B with a full step bend. Now, that may have been very confusing. So let's just run through it nice and slow a couple of times, right? So that is the lick. So you're not picking every one of these notes, right? Some of them are hammer-ons and pull-offs and whatnot. So watch my right hand and see which notes I'm picking. And I think that's the end of the solo. No, it's not. We finish the solo with this. Right there. So 12, 15 off to 12 of the B, and then a very quick little 15, 14, 12 pull off on the G, up to 14, roll down to 14 of the G, back to the 12 of the G, quick little pull off from 14 to 12 of the D, up to 14 of the A, and then chromatically 12, 13, 14 of the A. Right, so that's that lick. And that finishes the solo. So that is how you play the solo to Walking by Myself. Let's take it from the top nice and slow, and then we'll be done, because then we just drop back into another chorus, and we've already learned that. So. And there you have it. That is how you play Walking by Myself by Gary Moore. Certainly hope you enjoyed the video, found it helpful. If you did, please hit that like button. Maybe drop me a subscribe if you haven't done that already, as that would be very kind. And hope you're well out there, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.